table.
I'm going to call the meeting to order.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The purpose of this meeting is to come up with a job description for the coordinator's position. Okay. And then we need to think about also what we want to put in the ad, and an ad in the paper to advertise the position, okay? Because of course today's Thursday, it won't get in today.
It needs to be there by noon tomorrow.
Yeah, so we need to work on that to make sure we get that in and get that going. And be thinking about who that person or an applicant would contact, who would be the best person to contact if they're interested in the position. And so we've got a number of things going. Okay.
And
so,
the financial, the checkbook, why there was that $9,000 you were to bring today.
oh, yeah, I brought it and I wrote out the check for $4,000 to the Sylvan Senior Center.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
going over there, so if you want me to take that.
No.
Well, I
Nancy
gave it to Nancy.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
she is the one.
Was it yours?
Yes.
Oh, thank you much. Okay, all right, so let's start with the job description. And okay, people can, you've been thinking about it, throw out ideas. What do you have? Or do you have one,
Well,
Bob, trying to
I wrote
formulate?
down,
Did you want one?
do we need a coordinator or a director? And I wrote that down yesterday. Do we actually need a coordinator or do we need a director? Because I'm not sure what Becky's title is, but we want to keep the LCCA in effect, so we need to have either a coordinator or a director. A coordinator probably is probably the right word.
Yes, that's what it's been.
Because we want them to coordinate activity between both places. So we'll call it the LCCA coordinator position, if that's what you want to do.
Becky's the site manager.
Yes, she's a site manager.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Becky is.
So
Okay,
coordinator would be
LCCA
a good word.
coordinator. Okay, do we all
Yes.
agree to that?
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
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 Now, ideas.
I stopped at the health department. LaDonna Reiner gave me this because she's unable to come today. Can I read it? This is how the coordinator had helped
Was
the
working with the health department.
health department or vice versa.
Okay, she expressed that concern yesterday and we didn't
Yeah.
have time to deal with it.
We have a monthly provider meeting the second Wednesday of the month at 10 a.m. at the health department that Teresa attended. We discussed what is going on, what is needed, who can provide this service. We refer all Medicare enrollment questions, new enrollment, open enrollment. We refer all SHIC type medication questions for people 50 and older. We shared information on new Medicare numbers and how to use them. Whenever there is a need for home health service, we try to help, but if families have other concerns, we refer them to Teresa. We work together to help CanCare clients fill out forms and applications. She does elderly and we do others. She helps people with LEAP applications for utility assistance. She lets us know the deadlines, etc. We refer people for commodities in Bob boxes. She referred people to us for the Catholic Charity Band. When adult protective cases involve involve shared clients. We work together to provide solutions. She shared health department information with her clients, promoted flu shots and other services we have. She assisted the nurses with medication questions if we have a client that needs help. Promoted file of life. That doesn't make sense.
Oh, yes,
Fold?
that's a little thing that you could store in your refrigerator, a little vial that had all of your, important
okay.
information on it, your medication and so forth. That was like, I would say, how long ago did they?
Okay,
That's
I'd
been
never heard
several
of
years
this, so
ago.
I thought it was a misprint.
It was in a little red folder, little red plastic folder. You could stick in
Oh.
your refrigerator, and
Okay,
if you had, let's say, I was home alone, and I had a medical emergency, nobody else was there, they could go to the refrigerator, if you had that thing on your refrigerator, find that, and know what kind of health problems you had, and what they
okay.
needed to do to help you.
anyway, promoted file of life and assisted clients with making medication lists. We also provide that service and work together. We have some in-home equipment that people can check out. Teresa always referred her clients in need to us. Any needs of the elderly were discussed and collaborated together for the best outcome of clients. She could help us Area Agency on Aging information from Manhattan. We referred clients' families for nursing home placement questions. She was a great resource to us for any elderly services or concern. And it's signed LaDonna Ryder, 1023. So all of those things we need to think.
And incorporate into the
Yeah.
job description if we decide, okay? All right, anybody else?
Now, this is all based on 30 hours.
Okay, we need to discuss that. Is it gonna be 20 hours or 30 hours? Yes, ma'am.
I just have one question. Have you actually received a resignation? by
We keep
paper?
asking for
I've
what?
asked for it, but I have not received it.
Do you think the board
I
needs to
received
make
a verbal resignation, but I called and asked that a letter of resignation be sent.
The
So
way I
that's-
feel, if it's not written, it didn't happen.
I was just concerned, wondering what the process was, yeah.
Well, doesn't Jan need to, being that her and Jan and Teresa got together, Jan received that verbal resignation from Teresa. Jan should document that for that day and then sign it that she has received verbal resignation. So,
I can do
and
that.
the reason I'm saying that.
Well, I understand that.
And the reason I'm saying that, if you don't do that, and backdating is gonna be kind of illegal, but you need to do that, because basically she's still on our payroll, because we haven't received that yet. So she can say, I'm taking annual leave, or I'm taking sick leave right now, and we still have to pay her. So she resigned, so we need that backdated to the date that she received it.
But you shouldn't
Does
have,
that make sense?
you shouldn't even have paid her till you received it.
Well, we'll get into that, we're not there yet. But, Jan, that's my own personal
Okay.
opinion.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay,
Some sort of documentation is what I
Yeah,
was
that's-
wondering.
that's what we need.
For the board's own,
exactly,
Protection.
records.
And for our protection also.
exactly.
Yeah, okay, all right?
Okay, back to my thing.
Okay,
We're talking my idea of 20 hours, willing, like now, it's busy, up to 30 hours, but she'd still have I shouldn't say she, whoever it is, man or woman, wouldn't be receiving benefits.
You don't receive benefits till it's what, 32 hours?
32 hours.
Well, now
So
that
they
depends.
can work up to 30 hours.
You could, to me, you could
Unless had it
At
in
30
there that
hours.
they because some people at 30 hours get benefit if their policy states it.
Yeah.
Well, I know we've all got this senior service coordinator position requirements, and I've read that over 4 or 5 times yesterday. You know, basically, them are all good.
Until you get
but-
to the down at the bottom
All right.
benefits.
And, you know, and that's what, I put down 20 to 30 hours a week, depending on, like, open enrollment, we know it takes more than 20 hours a week, more likely. But my own personal opinion, if we were to put 20 to 30 hours a week, she might be, whoever gets it might be traveling over to Sylvan, they might be going to Hunter, they might be going to Vesper.
No, you don't go to 100, that's Mitchell County.
Well, what I'm saying is, if they have to travel, it might take a little longer than 20 to 30 hours, no more than 30 hours. And we want to say that no more than 30 hours a week.
Now, at our meeting Tuesday, Cindy insisted, I don't see that she has anything, but that it be an afternoon job. My thing is, it's part-time, as long as she done her 4 hours a day.
Morning or afternoon.
I would agree with that too.
Yes, because Becky is, excuse me, Becky is not on our payroll, but she is answering phone calls all morning for the council.
That's right.
So, if you're saying only afternoon, that means she cannot answer any questions in the morning when someone calls or when someone comes for a meal. Hey, what about this? Okay, or that, or, but they have to be accountable.
Okay, should we put down,
Variable hours.
okay.
20 to
variable.
30 variable, maybe, or,
Yeah, okay, 20 to 30,
They would have to, when they, whoever gets it will have to determine what day is the best to have be in. You know, like from 9 to 1, or from 1 to 5,
yeah.
and find, you know, they'd have to.
and it may depend upon their context too. Let's say they have a client who cannot come in the afternoon and needs to come in the morning. Okay, then she can change her hours. So, another thing that then we need to have them fill out and hand in every, month, or do you want it weekly, is an hourly a timesheet.
Yes,
Because we
and it
didn't
doesn't
see-
need to be as nonsensical. I watered plants. I swept the driveway. Excuse me, this is what we got. I'm saying,
Well, that's what we wanted accountability, is all we wanted. If she would keep track of her time, like, I came in this morning for 30 minutes to talk to an individual, about Medicare or whatever. Document that time, you know, and seriously,
So could we just put down document time?
Well, what is the best time to get a hold of these people that they need?
Well,
we're gonna
that,
find
that
that out. We're gonna find
information.
that out.
yeah,
Morning or afternoon?
that depends.
We're gonna find out, Marge. You
Uh,
see,
I think we have to be flexible. Truthfully, once elderly people are out, they want to get their business over and done with. And they don't. Our coordinator that we had was going to come in late in the afternoon. Usually late, by supper time, then they get their jammies on and cuddle up. They're in for the night. They don't want to turn around and have to come out for some meeting.
well, especially in the evening, or winter time,
Unless you're
when it's dark at 5 o'clock.
a super active elderly person, you know.
Most
But then-
elderly persons don't go out after dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And in the winter time, it's 5 o'clock and it's dark.
yeah.
You don't believe me, yes, this lady right here, She hates to drive at night. She's in Hayes yesterday, she almost got a motel room. I wasn't up there.
But anyway, and it would depend upon the need of the client.
Yeah, that's what it
And
is.
let's put out, depending upon need of the client. Okay,
Flexible,
yeah,
variable,
on
flexible.
need of client. Okay,
So I've got 20 to 30 hours variable depending upon the need of the client.
right,
That sound okay?
all right. And, also, I put down document time.
Okay.
When we have
Documentation is very important.
documentation, document time, okay? All righty, now,
Okay. Mileage for. Go
okay,
on.
good point.
Yeah, because I had mileage for what?
Well, now I
She
have mileage
gets
too.
mileage reimbursed a lot more.
Yeah.
If whoever has to run over to Sylvan,
Thank you.
or whatever, they're gonna coordinate a program. They'll give us Valerie, they go over and come back, we ought to compensate them for mileage. 'Cause that's
Okay,
part of their
and
job.
in the past, we paid, she was taking someone to physical therapy in Salina and was getting mileage. So, something like this. To me, why they couldn't do the physical therapy here, we've got a good PT.
Or,
Well, that
Yes,
depends
ma'am.
upon
On
who
the
the
doctor.
doctor was.
Yeah.
Depend on the
Doctors are very particular sometimes about.
what about the bus though? Doesn't the bus go to Salina?
Yeah.
Doesn't our bus
Yes,
go to Salina?
if you go first come, first serve.
Yeah,
How about distance? How
Um,
far will they take a person?
I just want to say there are two options for anyone. Well, one is particularly for medical reasons. If you wanted to ride with OCCK, they will schedule you. You just tell them, and that's a personal ride. It's not even a transit bus. They will come and pick you up at your house, and they'll take you all the way to your doctor's appointment, wherever that may be. And the county already pays for that service, so they come whenever. You just have to schedule it like you would with your
Yeah,
doctor's appointment.
right.
I thought it was only for kidney dialysis.
No, it's
no,
for any
no,
medical.
no, any appointment.
Any
I'm on the
medical-
bus board,
Okay.
sorry,
Yeah.
it's for
And then
any
the bus
appointment.
itself, will schedule you, but you may have to wait if they're, if they have other passengers as well, you may have to wait.
Okay,
in
and
Salina.
the bus here, I know, within the county, they'll go to Mitchell County. Did they go to Russell? I can't remember, and they'll go to
I don't remember.
Salina and Ellsworth.
They'll go, he
But
will
they-
drive,
Okay, they can't go to Ottawa County. They aren't licensed.
yes,
This is what I was told.
no, that's not
Well,
true.
they can't, you mean pick up anybody in Ottawa County?
If they have to take them to a doctor there. This is what I was told when I called them.
Okay,
That's
let
not
me
true.
It's
check.
been,
let me
okay,
check on
it's
that.
been several years, but I was told, I think there was 4 counties they could go to.
No, what happens is our county pays a matching fund, and we get reimbursements from the federal and the state. And that functions for us to have a full-fledged bus service, 8 to 4 or 9 to 5, something, I forget what the
Well,
hours.
it could even be longer than that.
So it's
Yeah,
every
and it could
weekday.
be earlier in the morning and it could go later in the
Right,
evening
and
too.
you just call to schedule,
long
and it
as
has
you
nothing
arrange
to
it.
do, with borders. Basically, they ask you to pay according to the mileage, so if you need to go to Salina and it's 50 miles, then they'll ask you to pay according to that. If you only need to go from here to Sylvan, or, just from your house to the hospital and back, it's very
Okay.
minimal.
Like I said, this has changed from when I called several years ago looking
Okay.
for
So-
information.
I will check on it, because I'm on the bus board and we have a meeting in
so
about a
Janet,
week.
so you file, whoever takes them to the state of Salina, you have to file, with the commissioners for that money to be received?
Uh-huh,
Is that how that works?
I believe so.
Yes, we
That's
just
how
did we were just working on the next year's budget.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's just for mileage, that's not for the prognosis, it's just for the mileage, right?
Prognosis,
it's a-
what's that mean?
Prognosis is what you've been diagnosed with.
Oh,
Say you have a heart attack, they're not gonna pay you they pay you to go to Salina and to have your heart checked, you know, all they're gonna pay is for the mileage.
Yeah.
The bus picks you up.
They
and
are
takes you
paying for the doctor's office, they're
Exactly.
only paying.
for the mileage.
Right, it's just for travel.
Okay.
Yes, just traveling.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
can also
just for the
call-
transportation
You
itself.
can use
they can't
OCCK. You do not have to pay.
You don't
have
It's
to
a
pay. You
suggested
pay whatever.
donation.
There's a suggested donation, but if you can't pay, you can't pay.
The county pays it, Marge.
County pays it.
Did they pay the OCCK or they pay our bus to take you?
Huh?
So if you can't drive for some reason, you need to go, you contact
Or even,
Jan
yeah.
or somebody, I don't know who else you notify, you don't wanna call the ambulance, gosh darn,
No.
that's $500.
Well, one thing about me, I was thinking
Our
about,
bus driver works at the courthouse, and you
Yeah.
can call the courthouse 5 days a week.
Oh, Jerry does?
Yep, every weekday, 5
Yeah,
days a
he's
week.
back there, his office is just
Okay.
back there
Call
in the
courthouse.
courthouse.
Mhm.
So
Alright.
just call the courthouse, they'll transfer you.
But does that have to be 24 hours in advance?
They like that.
They prefer that, yes,
But
but
if it's an
they're,
emergency, they'll take you,
they,
If it's an
over.
emergency, I think we should have them calling the EMS
Oh,
department.
okay,
yeah.
alright.
now, I heard it was strictly our coordinator before had to drive because they couldn't get back here by 4 o'clock and we wouldn't take them.
Well, I don't think that's the case anymore.
This is probably over a year ago, but this is what we were told, that why she had to, cause the bus wouldn't, they couldn't get them back here and then they couldn't get the hour early enough.
No, if their appointment is later and through no fault of theirs, they end up,
Okay,
you know, it is in a doctor's office sometimes. You don't
Okay.
get in when the appointment time says, and you end up being longer. Okay,
Alright,
mileage, how much, what are we gonna do for mileage? Or where do we decide?
well,
I guess I'm just saying, maybe it's not a good idea to have the county paying for 2 separate travel options. We're already paying, this would be a third. You know, the county is already giving money to OCCK and to the bus board.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure why this particular group needs to pay for a third option for transportation when
but
we
if
only have.
nobody will take her,
give you an example. Jim
the
Hay
one
had-
that
Don't
she
say names.
took
Don't
was
say names.
a neighbor.
Don't say names.
Yeah, yeah,
Was it named?
We took a gentleman to Wichita, because the bus doesn't go that far,
right.
and we did it, we did that because he's a senior. We never asked for mileage to that,
Right.
but now his time was for 10 o'clock in the morning, but they canceled till 1 o'clock. He was gonna have to get a motel room, and I said, I'm not gonna stay in a motel tonight. I said, we need to get home. So they took him in that afternoon, and he had his eye surgery, and we brought him back home. He never had to go back the
Well,
next day.
that's exactly what OCCK would do. If our county bus won't do it because it's a trip farther than, let's say, Salina or Hayes or something, that's what OCCK is for. And we give them quite a bit of money every year.
Okay,
Okay,
Yeah.
well then, that's something we taught, mileage then for like going to Sylvan.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to overstate my opinion. I just think that sometimes if we're paying for these services and duplicating them,
Okay.
it's frustrating for some people.
Okay.
yeah, I'm not
but-
talking about going to a doctor. Let's say she's going over there to coordinate a program.
Coordinated
Yeah,
program.
exactly.
What, 13 cents a mile? How much was that?
No, I thought
How
it was.
about, if she attends meetings, out of, we should pay mileage for that, shouldn't we?
I truthfully don't
She
know
or
what
he.
the legal, Manhattan, we were going by Manhattan, what do you get?
I get 23 cents a mile for delivering meals.
I thought she got 33 cents.
I thought you did
We-
too.
51 to 33, I think.
It was 50 something, and
51.
I thought it went to
No, I don't
33.
I don't have my mileage sheet with me.
Mileage
It's
had
either
more.
23 or
It was
But-
50 something,
No,
and I
it's not
thought,
that
Yeah,
much.
we,
no, we know
No, it
that.
was that.
Yeah, it's
It
not
went
that
down,
much.
I thought it went to
We-
33. I don't have my phone.
rescinded that, or
Either
whatever you
20.
call
23 or 32. I'll have to check my mileage sheet. I didn't
Yeah, it
read
might
a lot.
be 32.
I think it's 32. Okay,
And
so
Coordinate
mileage,
mileage for meetings and coordinating programs.
okay. Mileage for, yeah.
think you have to pay like an enrollment fee for any classes, but if it is, we would pay for it.
Oh, yeah, if she's taking continuing education
Or
classes.
something like
Or,
that.
or for SHIC, or for any.
I think
Anything
that's
that happens.
free, but I don't, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Okay, okay.
How much
Well, let's
did
just
you
put
say?
mileage for meetings and coordinating
32
purposes. That
cents.
covers about everything.
Purposes, okay, and,
Programs for seniors.
in, enrollment fees for continuing education. Does that sound good? Okay. Oops, scribbling. Okay, now, okay, number of hours so far, we've got 20 to 30 variable hours. Document time depending upon the need of the client. Mileage for meetings and coordinating purposes. Enrollment fees for continuing education.
Very good.
Okay, all right. What else do we need?
Who's gonna train her? You have to have somebody train her, come in here and train her, show her.
Well, that's why we're gonna send her to classes. But now,
And Manhattan,
Will come
I
in.
believe,
Will come in.
will come
That's
in
right.
and help.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Karen May said she would come down.
Okay.
The coordinator in Salina says she will come down. And she will stay here and work here until, The time we have.
You know, cause we're going through the same mess over there, so.
okay,
okay,
shouldn't say names.
No.
okay. Anything, all right.
What else we got?
What else?
Experience.
I have one more question about mileage.
Uh-huh,
How far will you take a person? Like, would you take them to Wichita, Manhattan, Hayes? Is there a limit on a doctor like we took
Oh.
a gentleman and said they wouldn't do it, so we
I
took
think
him?
that's a,
So how far are we able to go? So the seniors would know that.
I think that's on a, as-need basis, and then you'd, going that far, the bus I don't think would go, but OCCK would.
Okay,
uh-huh.
okay.
Yeah, and then in that situation, I would say, if there, that one of those rare situations where it was even further than that, then I would say, at least 3 members or more of the board should be consulted and advised of the situation, so, well,
I'm
let's
gonna
just
say-
put that in there.
We went,
Advise, board members, let's say 3 board members of special clients need for transportation. And then if they get the okay from 3 of the members to go ahead and do that, then, they've, you know, exhausted the other possibilities. Sometimes the bus is busy, you know, sometimes other things happen. Okay, does that cover it all right?
I
All
think,
right. What else?
I think problem solving, problem solving is a factor in this position.
I see everything down on this sheet when it comes, oh, excuse me. This is a 40-hour per week. From there down, delete, but I think
Yes.
all
Yes.
the rest of this, like working conditions,
Yes.
and
I think, now, education. Let's see. Yeah. Education is a high school diploma or GED is required. I don't think that's a must, and I'm gonna tell you why. Most college people that graduate don't use that in a job. High school education, maybe so, but they have to have good talking skills, communication skills with the elderly. And, you don't have to be a college educated to be doing that.
Okay,
Okay.
good people and.
Communication
and
skills.
Good people and communication skills?
Good communication skills, yes.
Yeah,
And
How
just
would
for
you
the,
prove that?
I don't know, but
okay,
probably,
the
Well,
first
you
time
probably
we
are gonna know.
find out that this job has to be talking to everyone and dealing with universal
Behavior.
care is what I'm
okay,
gonna
could we
word.
put down verified by, they're gonna have to give references, right? How many references do we want them to provide? At least 3,
I've always had 3.
okay. Verified by, checking references. Does that sound all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, say that again, please.
Okay, good communication skills, and then in parentheses, put down verified by checking references.
Okay.
And
Okay.
3, in parentheses behind that, 3 required. So they're going to have to give us 3 references. Sound all right? Okay. Now, what else do we have?
Okay.
Yeah, you want it other than just family
References.
references.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
it can't be family.
No,
It can't be
other than-
family.
But you need to state that.
Yeah, that are not.
Is this
That- that
job
not-
reference, or is this?
Yeah,
Well, no, it doesn't necessarily have to be job references, it just has to be I mean,
you can have a friend
Like a
that
church?
Yeah,
a
But
church.
not-
it's not family.
Something,
your son can't give you a recommendation.
Why
He's
not?
gonna tell how good his mother was. All right.
Yeah, well, I would say we would accept references from, anyone, even like a pastor,
Yeah.
somebody else that they've worked with in another
Right.
place,
Well, as long as you say not family, they get their own references.
Well, I don't think it should be family, but
No.
I think it also should be slightly work-related.
Okay.
Okay,
That's what
I'm
you're
gonna
talking
pass this
about.
around. Becky gave me, it has to change on the top, cause it says North Central Flint Hills. But we could use
That application.
that,
this
yeah.
application, there's 2 pages.
Employment record, yep.
I take it they don't have to take a drug test?
They should.
yes.
Everybody
No.
takes a drug test.
Lincoln County, they should.
I think every single you talk to
Do
is on
you
some kind of
need,
medication.
I can't remember, do all Lincoln County employees, have to take a drug test?
Our policy is that it's random, so
Oh,
they do
That's
have
the way
to,
ours is.
they do have to do it when they get hired, and then after that, it's random, but yes,
Okay.
for the,
Okay, I
they
couldn't
call it-
remember, I've read it in
Don't
the
they have
paper
to
and I
bring a
couldn't
list
remember.
of the
Well, we'll
medications
put
and
down
stuff
that
that
it's
they are
possible.
on to?
Possible drug
well,
test.
well,
Possible
okay,
drug test.
if
For the
they're
drug-
going for their
yes.
particular drug test, then they need to know that
Yeah.
they can be legally on one or the other.
Yes.
But yeah, it's called pre-employment screening.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Now, what else,
Like Judy said, I think if you go through our coordination requirements right now, everything down here except benefits, down here 40 hours, that's 20 to 30, we've got that down. Also, on working conditions, now here's where we had a problem. No adverse working conditions exist within this position. So you have to get along with everybody. I know everybody has a bad day, but gosh darn, you can't make it to work with you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, like I've said before, when I worked at the hospital, I didn't like everybody who came in, but I had to use universal care. You can go home at night and you could cuss and do whatever you want to, but in here you have to be willing to work with whatever problem and, Our past didn't wanna go to Sylvan, she didn't like them for different reasons. That has to stop.
Okay, anything
I'm
else?
trying
on
to
that?
watch.
Oh,
Work my wording, so
Well, are we at the benefits thing yet?
we are giving no benefits.
I think you should give some benefits, some
Like
sick,
what, Marge?
sick leave. And
Not
that should be
part-time.
based on like maybe 4 hours a month. You know, and you've gotta have an incentive for somebody
work.
to apply for this job.
Alexa.
I think if it's part-time and you guys wanna be flexible, if you're sick on a Friday and you don't come in at all, maybe you'll work a full day on Monday and make up for what you did. That flexibility of being part-time,
Yeah.
you know, in my personal life, it helps. I know when I can go in and get stuff done that I missed from the day before because I couldn't do it or wasn't feeling up to it. I mean, I think the part-time concept allows for that type of flexibility you guys were mentioning, and maybe someone would end up telling you, hey, every Monday's busy all day, so can I come in Monday through Thursday? And do 8 hours on Monday and 4 hours the rest of the week. And
Yes.
you guys can kind of decide that as it
And
evolves.
some of us have volunteered to come in for a 2-hour shift of answering the phone.
Covering the office, that would be wonderful. Yeah.
Actually, I think this was a pretty good job looking at these benefits. After,
Well, it was a fantastic job.
you know,
yeah,
I mean, hell, you get all your
I'm-
insurance paid.
4% of your
There
salary
wasn't even a
goes
time
in.
clock.
yeah. And
No.
we're not giving, and we're not going, because this is part-time, we're not going to be giving retirement benefits.
But
Okay,
she had-
Alexis.
And,
The reason why she had them for 13 years, or 17, she told one person 17 years, it's a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Alexis, we went and she was told she had till January 1st, getting her full benefits, full pay, whole kit and caboodle, and then she up and blip. Okay?
That's kind of like I'll show you.
Well,
You know,
I
she-
understand.
Also works at Ellsworth, doing books.
Okay? And then she did come back a few hours and I found out she was going in the back door so that I wouldn't see her from my house.
We need to
Am
continue.
I to
Okay,
understand
well,
that you
that's-
still don't have access to the building where all your files are?
I have
She
access,
has a
I have the
key.
key.
So do you need some help? Do we need to organize some help moving things or?
Well,
We
I
are
think-
not-
Yeah, we will.
They
Well, when
are
it gets to that
asking
point,
their
we will,
board
yes.
Okay,
if we
Okay.
can move back
Back in here.
January 1st, because this room is rented for the month of December.
Okay.
we need to get back on track here.
Okay, yeah, that's,
All right, so,
what else do we need?
okay, we got verified references, not family. Are we gonna go by this, except the latter part, more or
I-
less?
I think so.
What about, Marge, what do you think about it? Forget the bottom part. Up to,
Up to here.
attendance. Go to attendance.
Okay.
Have you read that?
No, I haven't.
Here. Here it is. Okay.
Who does she report to?
The board.
The board.
Is the current computers over in the new office?
Yes.
Where did the old ones go?
No, the computers that were here went over there. We didn't get new ones.
We can get new ones.
Just
I know
about
of.
3 years ago, there were brand new
Yes,
ones.
someone told me, I want to know if the new one was there, but I have not been back in that office.
Alexis, I don't know that because I wasn't here at the time.
Someone
The ones
else
are there. I don't
asked, there
know
was a freezer here, it went over there. I went back through the financials and cannot see that the board paid for that
No,
freezer.
that was Teresa's
she-
personal
but
computer. or
I
Teresa.
was asked to check it out, I cannot find that the board paid for it.
It didn't, she brought it in just for for
Or frozen
putting,
stuff on
for
commodities.
frozen stuff on commodities.
Okay,
And that was her personal freezer.
okay, but.
But there is
the
a
old computers,
refrigerator, I think, over there.
That's not
The question
ours.
was with the
My,
computers,
yeah, my
Oh,
question was
that's-
about the computers.
were they sold, were they trashed, or were they traded in?
No, you don't do
You don't trade
trade-in.
in.
You don't do that?
Mhm.
I wouldn't know.
I
We-
don't-
you
I
wouldn't
don't
do
know.
that.
The reason why I'm asking is, when Rosella Trapp was the treasurer at Sylvan, which was a few years ago now, she's gone, but she had put in a request to the board that Sylvan receive the old computer. This is before we bought one.
And
Nick
that's the
bought one.
date. No,
And a decision was never made, and now the computers, or at least that one particular one that was getting replaced has disappeared. So I'm just wondering if that went away, and with whom.
I
So we
thought
just have
Mike
to go look.
Cracky talked
So-
about getting a
We did
computer when
The
he
Sylvan,
first came on.
the Sylvan Senior Center did purchase their own after that, but I'm just wondering, where did the old one go? Because it was requested to be reused by a different organization, and that never happened. So I assume if it's not here, not in the other office, that's quite an expensive piece of equipment to disappear.
I haven't looked in all the back, in all the back rooms, so it could be over there,
Yeah.
but I haven't looked in the back, cause there's several shelves and stuff back there, so
Okay.
when we move, we'll do it.
Okay.
You know-
We will do, and, why don't we do this, let's do an inventory
Bingo.
of everything that we move when we move back over here,
Mhm.
okay?
Absolutely.
It's a good idea.
That sound good to everybody?
Mhm.
All right, we will do an inventory, and then we will know what we've got moved back here, and what we have and what we don't have.
Now, there's nothing in here about holiday pay at all, on the coordinator's.
Well, do we need to, since we're going to
I
go?
think he was looking for
For
it
20
to see
Let me ask you a
part-time.
question. Let me ask you a
he
question.
later.
Yeah,
The cooks, now the cooks here, they don't get paid holiday pay. Should they?
No, because
no,
they aren't
because they don't
open.
work a holiday.
No, but that's why, when you worked a position, you got holiday pay. When I worked a position, I had to work the
I
day before.
worked a holiday.
Right.
I have too. Snow and ice. I've had to go out and push snow. I got paid time and a half for that. But I'm not saying time and a half here. What I'm saying is, should we give them some incentive to apply for this job?
I was gonna say, you gotta do something.
So,
they can-
if there's 9 holidays a year, we don't have to give them 9 holidays. I'm talking about like Labor Day,
I agree.
we're not giving that.
Maybe Christmas and Thanksgiving.
That's all I'm thinking about. Christmas and Thanksgiving, should we pay
No,
those 2
I
holidays?
don't go along with that. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Becky said that the computers were on a cart with all the files, cabinets, when they moved them.
Uh-huh.
So the old one should be over there too.
Okay, like I said, I haven't looked in all
So-
the back room or on all the shelves,
Okay,
so
but
we
they
will
did
do-
get moved, Becky said, from here to
we're
the
gonna
workshop.
we're gonna do an inventory.
Okay.
Somebody's gonna keep track when we move things out, okay.
Well, Charlene, what do you think?
I think we should, for couple of holidays a year, I mean,
Jane, what do you think?
I think it's a good,
You gotta
drawing
have
card.
something
Nancy?
that's gonna
It's a
make
good
this
drawing card.
You think they'll have
job
holiday pay?
interesting that they're gonna
Maybe
apply.
a major holiday.
Yeah,
Christmas
major,
and
nothing like
Easter.
Veterans
Christmas
Day.
and Thanksgiving.
Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
What do you want as a pay?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
first thing.
That's the incentive.
Well, the incentive, if we're paying 11 and a half, and we don't have any incentives, Judy, $12?
At least.
I was just gonna say, if you're taking this down to a part-time position, now you have some flexibility with what you're not paying out. So that pay rate, I think, for a part-time job is gonna be the attraction.
Yeah.
There aren't really any benefits that come with a typical part-time job, and people know that. The flexibility, if you have a family or if you have other obligations, that's what the incentive is.
Yeah.
But if you're going to pay well per hour, that's going to.
What kind of pay do you think?
Well, I don't really wanna, I
No,
don't wanna throw
what would you
that out
think?
there.
Like we're asking you.
okay, well, how much,
What have we been paying?
what have we been paying?
11.50.
$11.50 an hour.
Okay.
It's right there on the,
Yeah,
It-
okay,
it's
I
a-
don't have that paper right in front
All
of me.
right, 11.50 an hour.
Let's think about what kind of an incentive we can put in there, up that a little bit as an
See,
incentive?
I still think you need to throw in like 4 hours a month for sick leave or something. Every place I've ever worked, anybody that worked 30 hours got at least 4 hours vacation and sick time in there.
I thought it was 20 hours. I thought it was 4 hours a day for 5 days.
Well,
Well,
where I worked, it was for 30
Well,
hours.
Since ours is a part-time, I think our incentive, but I agree with Alexis on this, I think our incentive should be the wages,
Yes.
the amount of wages that we're paying.
Okay,
So, now it is 11
$11.50.
Plus all the benefits that made it pretty high.
Yes.
Okay. What
So-
did Teresa make every 2 weeks?
We got that in there. Wages.
About 1,000.
Huh?
According to her
It's
last.
almost, yeah,
Time
right
sheet.
1,000.
But yeah, I'd average that to about 1,000.
Every 2 weeks?
I'd say
Er.
she made
Okay.
good money.
Yeah,
Here.
And then her
I've
benefits
got
on
one
top of that, if she figured
Yes, and
those,
she had
made good
benefits
hourly.
on top of that, so, and we're not going to do,
No, I know
No.
that.
we're not going to do the benefits.
Okay,
So
my
we need to adjust the
suggestion-
wages.
Yes. 20 hours, $15 an hour, that's $300 a week. Times 4 would be $1,200 a month, and there's no benefit. That's what I'm figuring right now.
Okay. Jude, that's fine.
Does that sound?
That's fine, that's fine.
Does that
I was
I'm
thinking
saying this-
$15 an hour.
This is a
sounded
pretty
like.
good incentive.
That's a hell of an
Okay, what
incentive.
did you,
Well,
what did
you
you say?
gotta have something to get somebody.
That's
Yes,
a
we're gonna
heck of
have
an
Apply
that.
for it.
What was your dollar?
$15
Right.
an
You have
hour,
to work with Becky, so you
No, I
need
did
to
not
find
put
out,
that
Becky
point.
gets, I think, 10, 15.
20 hours a week.
Uh-huh.
So you need to kind of work
And
through, cause
That'd be
it's not gonna make
$300 a
Becky
week.
happy if you
Times
hire somebody to
4
come in
would
and
be
make
$1,200
$12
a
an hour
month.
and she's getting
Then
10,
But if she
15.
gets
We've
that,
gotta
if she gets
take-
that job, she's gonna be $15 an hour.
Well,
Yeah,
there's a
taxes
certain
on
amount
we
of
don't know if
taxes
she
on
is,
it.
Yes,
so
but
maybe
but
somebody more
that's-
qualified. So
that's
the
my
point being,
projection.
Well,
you
you
need
got
to take that
taxes, you
into
got Social
consideration.
Security, you
Yeah.
got.
all that, I
But
don't
All of
know.
that
Well,
comes
Then
out.
Jean just said,
No,
the lady's gonna be whoever we hire is gonna be working with Becky.
Uh-huh.
Becky's making $10.50 an hour. That's gonna be a conflict of interest for her to teach somebody what she knows already.
Uh-huh.
If you're making 15, I'm making 10.50. I'm not gonna work with you. You know,
And
that's
how many hours does Becky work of a week?
Every
She
day.
works, she
6.
works 5 days a week,
Yeah,
and she works 8 in the morning till 1.
5 hours.
uh-huh.
But I think she gets maybe, why don't we ask her? Would that be what we should do?
So, but we all agree that the incentive is going to have to be
Yes,
in
it's
the
gonna be in
wages.
the wage.
okay.
Has to be in the
With
wage.
no
All right.
benefits, I still think $15 an hour.
Well, then you know at least you're clearing probably 11 by the time you have all your deductions.
Yeah,
Start
Yeah.
out, start
Yeah.
That
out.
might be
In the little
subject.
short meeting, she'll be here just as soon as.
okay,
she-
that's right.
That's okay.
Yes,
I think
you're
you're
right,
right.
Alexis, by the time we take out the
Yeah.
things we
Yes.
have to
Yeah.
take out,
It'd be $11 an hour.
it'll be a,
Something
But-
around there.
yeah.
The board is receiving more, in the long run, we'll have more money because we aren't paying IRAs and insurance
Yes.
and all
and all
that junk.
that's gonna be the responsibility of the
Of
Well,
person.
now, I would say, once she gets trained, what if she don't get all the work done that she's supposed to get done in those 4 hours or 5 hours a day? 20 hours, 30 hours a week?
And I think we need to, look at the
I
hours
think it
again.
should.
Then I
30
guess we'll
hours
have
a
to
week.
go and
Because,
get
Or
someone
maybe- or
else
maybe
because if
during-
you're not
during
doing
this
this.
time
no,
of the year, when we have sick,
Yeah.
when we
Needs
have
to
sick,
increase the hours.
yeah.
If I may, this is one of the reasons I wanted to come to the meeting today, the SHIP topic. From the research that I've done and from the people that I've talked to, both in Topeka and Manhattan, SHIP is primarily a volunteer
Volunteering.
situation, okay? And I know that quite a few people are perfectly fine with the idea that Lincoln County basically employs someone to make sure that we have that person. But I just wanted to remind you that in the past, we had other people who were interested in performing SHIC duties as far as counseling, and they were basically not welcomed. And so not 100% of the SHIC responsibility in this county needs to fall on your employee. So we can invite people from Salina and Ellsworth, and there are people all over the place.
And they cannot be paid.
Correct.
That's
And
right.
what I'm
That's
saying
right.
is, you don't have to assume that your employee is going to be responsible for all the SHIC.
Right.
That's kind of a misconception that was created by the last position.
Okay,
Okay.
so what we need, Alexis, is what we need to do is do we need to have a list of those people in the vicinity that are SHIC trained?
Or
And
you
willing.
call Manhattan and they tell you.
Yeah,
Or
Okay.
Salina.
Salina
I've
has,
done that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Salina has an office, and, you know,
Yes.
just for example, some people who live south end of the county, maybe they frequent Ellsworth.
That's right.
Maybe
Right.
it would be more, you know, it would be
You
more
are
of an
not
advantage to want to go
guaranteed,
there.
you have to come to Lincoln if you
No.
live in Lincoln.
I'm just saying that's a reason that it doesn't need to be a full-time or even close to full-time position. That was the busiest time of year for this employee, and it was because we were funneling all of those through one person. It doesn't have to be that way. I think it's your employee's job to put those people who need that counseling in touch with everyone who does
Yeah.
that. And to welcome,
Okay.
actually, the one said that each SHIC counselor's job is to try to find more SHIC counselors.
uh-huh,
Okay.
uh-huh.
So that's
And
the
that could be
concept.
anybody.
Exactly,
So-
exactly.
You can go, I can go, Chris can go, we can go to the
I was
class.
gonna do it several years ago and something came up that I
Couldn't go.
couldn't, and I don't feel I can go now. I've got,
You're too busy right now.
with my husband and my mother-in-law, I'm dealing with
Yeah.
too many things
Your
that,
circumstances changed.
yes,
Right.
greatly.
Okay.
Okay, so,
All right.
Okay,
get back on track.
Becky's
You
here.
Get back on track on this. Incentives will be paid in the pay rate.
yeah, and Becky's here.
All right. Okay.
Ma'am, how much do you make?
Okay, I get paid from North Central Flint Hills Area Agency on Aging for 5 hours a day at $7.25 an hour. And I am supplemented by the Lincoln Senior Center, I make $10.50 an hour. So whatever what is that? I don't know.
$3.25.
$3.25. So I was like, I had crazy stuff over there. So $3.25 is my supplement from the Lincoln Senior Center an hour, and I get 5 hours a week or 5 hours a day from both of those. So
So it meant, it's
Up
like
to 5 hours.
$10.50 an hour.
$10.50 an hour is what I made. But of that, $7.25 comes from Manhattan.
And you have no,
I do have benefits. I have sick and vacation pay. I get 5 hours of vacation every month and 2.5 sick.
See, that's where I'm saying
That's
it
part-time.
should be.
That's part-time.
And that's part-time, 30 hours.
But like insurance, I don't get that.
Is that from Manhattan?
And you-
Yeah, from Manhattan. But the Lincoln Senior Center, okay, that's another one. The Lincoln Senior Center does not pay sick or vacation on my supplement. Just because they said it was too hard for them
Keep track.
to keep track and to manage all that. Because like on my Manhattan page stubs, it says like how many I have left. But
so how much vacation do you get from Manhattan?
5 hours a month and 2.5 sick.
Yeah, I got that.
And you don't get any IRAs.
No, I don't get any IRAs. I don't get any insurance. I get a lot of love.
Vacation.
Do you get bonuses at Christmas?
No bonuses.
Except hugs.
Yeah, I get hugs.
Now, do you get paid if this is open, someone's renting it, do you have to come in and do anything?
Yeah, most of the time, like if I do it, I have to make for sure that it's like opened, that people have the keys, the lights are on. Every time we rent it to something, like the other night, I was part of the food council, but I had to leave, and then I had to come to go get my child from practice, and I came back to make for sure everything was turned off. And
But now she does clean and gets a
yeah,
So
I
that's
get that.
different.
That's different.
yeah,
So
but
then,
that's
if
different.
you do that and you put in additional
I
hours.
don't put any hours on that.
But are you able to leave an hour early or come in an hour late or something to manage your own
Yeah,
time?
I mean, it all kind of equals out because there may be something like,
You could
say I want to go eat Thanksgiving lunch with my child, and I would go and leave a little early, and it all like it's not. They're not. I mean, I would say that they're strict, but not like to the minute. It's.
We were or they were talking about how to make proper incentives to want the job.
Then her board sets in to get a phone call
Right.
or be at.
To fill in.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, are we,
No.
okay, so what did we decide on the salary?
Well, and with mine also here, like for say something happens, like I do go to lunch. Lois is trained on the cell phone. Jeannie's trained. I mean, we have a cell phone now because when the Council on Aging left us in that kind of horrible position, it was cheapest for us to just get a cell phone. So I have it, and I can take it with me, like if I'm going to
Right.
something, and then I just text my girls in the kitchen, "Hey, add on Joe Black for a meal today."
But do they hold out your taxes?
Yes.
Do we hold out your taxes?
Yes.
We do.
The council, the Lincoln Senior Center has Jean Krangle at Tax Prep do their payroll, and she helps to make sure we get our taxes paid, the quarterly Kansas tax, federal tax, all that. So she does our 501c3. Like she's like, "Hey guys, reminder, it's due," and we're like, "Okay, yes, postcard."
Yeah, because
Jean has been a wonderful
we
thing
had a
for us.
problem with that at one time.
Yeah, well, it's just hard because you have so many people
Well, who does
changing
ours?
boards, and I'm sure
Tracy
Teresa
did
did.
ours.
Yeah.
Tracy did ours.
Uh-huh.
Did we pay her to do that?
That
I'm
was
sure.
part of her,
Probably just part of her.
Oh, you were
sure.
part of, you went through it?
huh?
Probably just.
Oh.
It's just a
part of her work
postcard.
day.
It's just a postcard that we have to send.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but at the end of the year, like Jan, you're gonna receive a 1099 form this year. Because the mill there, who's gonna send that to you? Did Teresa do that? See, that's
Well,
what,
this
we need
is
to decide
the-
that, is Mr. Krangle or what's it?
Yeah.
It's Jean.
Jean Krangle?
Yeah.
Are we gonna hire them to do our taxes at the end of the year, to send you a 1099 form? If
Uh-huh.
we don't, we're gonna lose our 501c.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
We have got to
It's
do
not a
that.
very complicated process to do your renewal.
No,
It's
it's
not.
a postcard.
Yeah, the senior center, I particularly know of, the one in Sylvan Grove, has done it just with their own treasurer. So, if you can get on the
We're
phone,
losing our treasurer.
well, that might need to change when you have some board
Do you want
turnover.
an
but-
incentive?
Incentive, yeah.
But
Yeah.
what I'm getting at, the year end is approaching right now, and that's gonna have to be done. We sure heck don't wanna lose our 501c, which we could, here.
Is anyone on the board now pretty adequately skilled at using the internet?
But Judy and Nancy can.
Nancy's
I mean,
very
What?
good.
it's that simple. You just go to their website, you call their number, they can talk you through it, kind of thing.
Nancy's.
What are we
excellent.
I'm sorry.
To
I'm just-
renew your 501c3 status through the IRS,
Okay.
it's honestly not as complicated as it sounds, and you can get on.
I knew where I was going,
Right.
website, yeah, I probably could.
Nancy's
Well, and
I
like
don't
at
know
ours,
about
we have it
that.
in a folder, and it has our usernames and passwords like written in the folder.
Okay.
Well, we have that in our folder.
Yeah.
Our 501c.
I didn't bring that paper with
Oh,
me,
no,
so.
we didn't, because we're not talking about that today. But we need to talk about that in the near future.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
But
get back.
back to the salary, while Becky's here, if she's gonna train this person, she should be getting adequate.
No, but I don't know. I mean, how are you saying I'm training this person? Like, I'm just out of the kindness of my heart in the senior center, and I've talked to Manhattan, and telling them that they understand. Like Karen set up an open enrollment here that we weren't to try to cover. I've been filling spots over in Sylvan. I sent people to Ellsworth yesterday, so we all understand that the loss.
She's
and how you're in
doing all of
turmoil.
this out of the kindness of her heart, cause she worries about the seniors.
Yeah.
The whole thing was,
But I'm talking about the salary of the new girl coming on, or
Are
whoever.
you done with me? Because I'm crazy over there. You good? Okay.
Working with
I
her.
think we need to reimburse her something and give her
there's no,
I told you
like you said,
the
by
other
the time
day
you
we
pay
have
your
to
taxes,
drop
it's gonna be a little over $11 an hour,
Until,
Okay,
okay.
let me
So-
put that,
Jennifer.
let me put that as a note on, before next our next,
Meeting.
our meeting.
For
For the-
what?
For the whole board, we need to talk about how we're going to reimburse Becky, okay? For all that she's, for
I
all
went
that
and
she's been doing.
already talked to Jennifer and she's like, this needs, you wait until someone's hired.
Bob,
Well, that's true, yeah, but we still need to discuss
We
it.
need to,
$10.50 an hour for 25 hours is $262.50 a week. $15 an hour for 20 hours is $300. So you're talking about $40 a week.
$47 a week.
There's not a
difference.
great deal of difference there,
Well,
right?
if you're not gonna offer those benefits, I mean, what she said is that she gets
she gets benefits.
one whole day of vacation and 2.5 hours of sick leave per month, which is, I calculate is about $54 extra. So there is a difference there, but if you capped this at 20 hours, the difference isn't that huge. I mean, you could adjust it.
Mhm. Okay, well, so far we've gone 20 to, didn't we say 20 to 30 hours?
20 to 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, so see, the top part could be 30 hours, then that might be. I mean,
That,
sometimes
that
it
won't
may
be every, I'm thinking when we have 30 hours is when, like during this open enrollment.
Stuff, yeah.
Has
You
anyone
you'll
looked
have all
back?
them- Oh, excuse me. I
No,
always-
no, go ahead.
You'll have, when they first start out, you're gonna have hours, no
Oh,
matter,
yes.
no matter whether it's 10,
Learning
15,
hours.
20, or 30 hours, maybe 40 hours a week. Because they're not gonna, that's all going in their head.
It takes time.
I
It
was gonna,
takes time.
I was
'Cause
gonna
I'm
ask,
going through that right now.
has anyone looked back into the beginning of this organization? Have you ever read the minutes from the creation of the?
They're locked up over there.
Well, a few years ago, I read all the initial minutes of how this was created and how it was formed, and it did start out with a part-time position. And the person that was doing that ended up, I think it was the second time they hired someone, ended up requesting it from part-time to full-time, and I understand that because it benefited that particular person. But I think one of the things that happened with this council over the years as you turn over your membership is that you lose track of what's supposed to be happening, and then the employee starts telling the board what's supposed to be happening.
Exactly.
And so you ended up with this full-time position that was writing down watering plants and putting cats in crates as part of their job description, and then the county is paying for that. And so there was
Taxpayers are paying for that.
I mean, yes, that's what I
Yeah.
mean, yes, when I say
Here,
the county.
here, think
So
about
I'm
this
just,
for just a
I'm
minute.
just saying, if you start lower, you can always increase. If you start up, you can't go down.
That's true.
And that's my
Yeah.
concern, because this council did once upon a time start at just 20 hours, and maybe even less. But it snowballed into something that got out of control, and my advice is just because I studied the history of how it evolved, you just might wanna hold your brakes now and worry about it being time consuming later, because as I said, one of the biggest questions is how much time should be put into SHIC. So we're paying to have a SHIC person in Lincoln County, and we only have a population of 3,000 people. You know, other coordinators in other counties have done it for free.
And that's what Ellsworth does it for free.
Saline
Mitchell
County has
Mitchell
too.
does it for free.
It,
And I've checked
that's
on it.
part of
So
the
Lincoln County does
program.
too.
It is, you are not to charge.
You know, if I was
So-
looking for this job, I would want more than 20 hours a week if I wanted to
But-
take it.
Mark, just say, no, we're not looking for somebody in our age group, we're looking for somebody like in Becky's age. If their husband's working and they have children, they might only want to work 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic job, you know,
During
For-
school
for 20 hours a
and
week.
At school, you can, yeah.
so.
After
we're not-
I retired, this is what I wanted, a few hours a day, because I had other things.
To do. So,
When I retired, I didn't want any hours.
okay,
Depends upon the
let's
person.
get back on track.
Okay,
So,
all right.
what we're gonna do,
Why?
we're gonna take our senior service coordinator position requirements, and we're gonna drop off the bottom half, or the bottom, and this is 40 hours per week position, we're gonna take that out.
Yeah,
Okay, and we're gonna add right here, 20 to 30 hours, variable depending on need of the clients. Documentation, that's in here already, believe that or not, it's in here. We need to, on the application, verify references,
Yes,
So,
communication is
so, if we
prerequisite.
use this program right here, except the bottom half, it ought to be sufficient enough.
Yes.
Okay,
Don't you agree with that?
And,
Alexis?
Yeah.
I think the ad in the paper, ask for,
yes, let's go to
Council
the
on
ad in
Page.
the
Wait a
paper.
minute, I don't have down pay rate. Did we decide?
Oh, yes,
14?
we need to, good, Nancy, we need to decide
And
on
I
the
don't,
pay
and
rate.
holidays, I don't
Well-
I
have
agree
what
with
we
her,
did.
you gotta come lower and then you can go up in pay.
Uh-huh.
So what do you
I
say,
don't,
Mark?
Yeah.
I think 15 is too much.
I was gonna say 1050, start out.
I'm looking at this job description and not one thing actually addresses the fact that it's supposed to be a person who's coming up with services for the elderly. Like, say, Tai Chi or yoga or
Bingo night.
exercise program or an art, the drink coffee and make an art picture. There's not a single thing on that job description that actually addresses what the heck is that person supposed to do? Yeah, they have computer skills. Whoop-de-doo. Everybody has computer skills.
okay,
nowadays.
that's
That's
coming
awesome.
down from Manhattan.
Did you make that
Yeah,
No,
but-
that's
no,
in
it's
my
not.
book.
I'll step in there and say no, because you guys are the authority. That's one thing that this board has been missing in past
You know,
membership.
This is
This-
part,
this
is-
this
this is
is
part of it.
part of it, and it's got a whole list of things
Uh,
that they're
Marge,
responsible for.
It's all in there. It's in there.
Yeah, I just wanna say, the Flint Hills Area Agency on Aging only has authority over them, not you. The senior center and what they do with their meal program. That's been a misconception as well. The North Central Flint Hills Area Agency on Aging has nothing to do with the Council on Aging. Yes, they can help you with your SHIC people who are supposed to be volunteer, but the only authority that Manhattan has is over next door, not with you guys. You guys are an independent board that are 100% funded from the taxpayers. North Central Flint Hills Area Agency on Aging does not give you a dime. They don't give you a dime, therefore they
No.
don't tell you anything.
Ours is taxpayers' money.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so our 18 county agent, Cindy Nelson, she really has nothing to say to us either.
No, you're
But she-
not affiliated with them,
At
other
all.
than you can partner with them to try to find SHIP people.
I mean, we give her
Or-
time to tell us what's going on in Manhattan,
Mm-hmm.
but she tries to tell us how to run our job here. You see what I'm saying? Cindy Nelson has nothing to say to us except what Manhattan has to tell us.
Well, I'm not negating what this board has done. I think you guys have been the most on top of your jobs that I've seen in 5 years of following this. Because what happened was, like I said before, the previous boards didn't know their role. They didn't understand what they were doing, that they were the employer. You guys are now acting like an employer, and that's so important. Because before, it was just all backward.
Okay, so, let's start with a salary,
Not
do
50.
About
we want
$12.
to,
How about 12?
all right, 12,
I would go
and
$12.
subject to, performance increases? Does that sound good?
Because she was getting $11.50 in benefits, so if we
Uh-huh.
do 12, that, and no benefits, then I would think that'd be
And
fair.
it's a part-time job, and put in there, subject to performance increases. In other
Yeah.
words, if this person is doing a really good job,
Performance evaluations.
Yeah.
okay, that's good,
That's the word to
okay.
put in there. Performance evaluations, because that way, we
Okay,
give her
you
a
said
raise.
how much,
If she
you said
deserves
how
it, she
much,
doesn't.
Nancy?
$12.
$12
Is that okay
per hour,
with everybody? Subject to performance evaluations.
subject to performance evaluations.
And what about vacation, or not vacation, but
You don't want any
Holidays.
sick leave?
holiday pay?
Yeah, holidays.
I'd rather see 2.5 hours of sick leave than a holiday. I'm
I
sorry.
think the sick pay is important. And I think that could be negotiated when you interview somebody for the job. It didn't have to be listed in,
Right.
in what
Marge.
you're,
We could offer 2.5 hours a month.
Depending upon the person that we find and what their situation is.
Right.
Okay, if they have kids, or if they have an older adult that sometimes they have to take care of, yeah, okay.
That's to be discussed at a later
Yeah.
Yeah.
date.
With 2.5 hours per month.
Instead of holiday,
Yes.
you'll be sick.
If you have kids, that's nothing.
Well, yeah, but
So,
2.5.
hours a month.
sick leave. Are we gonna give them the 2 holidays or no?
No.
No?
Well,
I
I
said,
would,
but-
but- I said I would, but you know, that's.
uh-huh,
And
That's
I
what
would
I
too.
do too.
I would too.
I would too.
Well, you
Because
can talk
we
about
appreciate
it
the
at
person that's gonna come
Two
in here and do a
holidays.
job.
Yeah.
We wanna
You
show
do
that we
Thanksgiving,
do
talk
appreciate
about
it.
it at the
Let's
end
give them a
of the-
holiday, you know.
You don't have to put it in the
What?
paper.
You
No,
could
they
do,
don't
you
have to
could
go
do
to
a
the paper,
6-month
no.
evaluation and give a raise. If you wanted to start lower, you can do a 6-month evaluate. That's what we're gonna try.
well,
to do
that's
with
what
the
we
just
put,
wrote that down,
subject to
Alexis.
performance evaluation,
Good.
and then it can, and then it
Well,
can go up. And they can, they can adjust, or they can adjust their hours around the holidays, or do we want to give them the holidays?
That
if
should
the
be
holiday
good. That should
falls
be
on
mandatory.
Talk about it.
Yeah, then you got a point there too, Mark.
or on Saturdays,
Yeah.
when you're not open.
You know, we could talk about the holidays later.
When then?
Later.
Yeah,
Okay.
later.
That's what I keep saying
Uh,
about
Okay,
this.
let's
Okay,
do
I'll leave
the,
that
are
out.
we ready for the ad
Uh,
to go on the paper, because
Yeah,
that's gonna
we
have.
need to make a copy of this. This has to be added. Part of this is part of our senior. Alexis just wrote that in there. That should be a must. SHIC certification. Our coordinator, our coordinator has to have a SHIC, a certification.
Oh, yeah,
We delete part of that and put that in there. So
Uh-huh.
that has to be rewritten.
But then wouldn't we provide that for somebody that's one of the jobs?
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
would pay them
what
full.
we said.
Training.
Somewhere,
Did you see it?
training.
Judy, you see that, huh? You see that?
I actually have a suggestion. You know, the Council on Aging could give grants to anyone who wants to become SHIC certified.
uh-huh,
You could actually ask for applicants who want to do that and pay them mileage and pay their education to get them certified. And of course, they wouldn't get paid for them being that SHIC counselor, but
Right.
you could actually promote having several of them throughout the county,
mhm,
and that might be a good way to spend some of your money.
Okay. All right.
okay, are we,
So let's go to the ad.
all right?
We'll get to that. Let's go to the ad.
She marked on my original.
That is your
I'm sorry.
That is my original.
I'm sorry, but that needs to come out.
Oh.
This needs to go in.
Get you another
You
copy
rewrite that.
from mine.
Okay,
Okay.
That's yours. Okay, for the ad.
Lincoln County Council Coordinator. Hours, maybe, starting hours 20. I don't know if you
I
wanna put
wouldn't
in
put the
the
starting hours, I just say
Part-time.
part-time.
Time.
part-time of 20 hours a week.
You have 20, you put that in 20 hours a week. I don't think you're gonna get many.
Put part-time.
I just put
Period.
part-time
Uh-huh.
position.
But part-time.
Okay, part-time.
okay, is looking for a part-time,
Job, to help
coordinator,
the coordinator help senior citizens
I
of
think
the
it should be senior services coordinator.
Okay.
Yes,
It used to
that's
be, it
better.
just sounds,
Right.
okay,
So,
Or uptown. huh?
for Lincoln County Council on Aging, looking for a part-time
senior services coordinator.
senior services coordinator. Oop. Okay. Okay, now what information do we wanna put in the ad? SHIC certification required?
I would
No, no,
put-
No.
not yet.
No, not
We-
yet?
we-
Okay.
We require that.
Yeah, I put 20
Okay,
to 30 hours a week, per week,
Yep.
part-time.
Yeah.
Paid
Do we need to
negotiable.
put, do we need
Helping
to put the hours in there, or
seniors-
just put for a part-time
just
senior
part-time
services
for now.
coordinator?
And
You even have to put
helping
in
seniors,
the amount you're gonna be paid.
Well,
Pay negotiable by, qualifications.
yeah, there you go, that's the word I was looking for.
Okay, yeah, pay.
helping,
Do we
and
need
then,
to put subject or negotiable, which do
I
you think?
put negotiable according to experience or whatever.
According to experience.
Now, Manhattan is not
Now,
involved in this.
applicants need to apply at.
No.
Look at that piece of paper, right here.
okay, no,
Apply.
but I wanted to
Wanna add
say,
something else?
for your job description, helping seniors to stay in their home.
That's what we're for.
But we don't wanna put this in the
Not
ad,
in the
because
ad.
you're gonna be paying for,
Yeah, you
your
pay for
ad is gonna cost you an
you
arm
would-
and leg.
You just put, applications may be picked up at 116 West Lincoln. That's where applications are gonna be held at, right here,
Okay,
Where is that?
Here,
right here.
Really?
You didn't know that?
I didn't know the address of it.
I didn't either, I just was on Main Street.
116
I
West
know,
Lincoln.
where is it? I'm on 16 South Second.
Yeah.
160 west.
116
We
West
need a
Lincoln.
bar up here on Main Street.
obtained
And
at, what was the address again?
116.
I don't know what the address.
116 West Lincoln. No, that's senior center. And that's the Lincoln Senior Center, that's right here. You might put that on there, Lincoln
Applications,
Senior Center.
applications may be obtained at 116 West Lincoln.
Senior Center.
Well, they know that, they can
That way.
find, see that.
Well, that's on the door, but that way they'll know.
Okay.
I don't know why you'd even need the street address, just senior center, and they know where to come.
Well,
Well, we may have some out of town.
Other towners.
We may have some
So-
out of towners.
that should be sufficient. That right there, ad should be sufficient.
Okay,
And then hopefully we'll get a couple of applications. That's a start.
okay.
And then we can discuss as a board on really what we want, which we already have, you know.
when are you gonna have a committee to go over applications, or is it gonna be the full board?
Should be full
It
board.
should be the full board.
I think it would be the full
To
board.
interview them?
Well,
All
to go
full
over,
board?
to go over the applications. And then
And
we decide on
how
who
long are
we
you
want
gonna
to
do this?
interview.
Is it gonna be next month, or are we going to meet in the middle of November to discuss whoever turns in?
I tell you what, to me, if we receive like 3 or 4 applicants come in, we ought to have a meeting immediately. So,
But you gotta post,
Yeah, we gotta post a date for, maybe obtain it by a certain date. Right,
I would say after
applications
2 weeks,
maybe
make applications for 2
obtained at
weeks.
116 West.
We
Now,
have to
that
wait 2
depends
weeks.
upon when we can get this ad in on, and,
okay,
tomorrow.
it has to be in by noon tomorrow to get in next week's
okay,
paper.
all
So
right.
if
And
we wait 2 weeks,
Has to
and
be
that's what
in
we have to
2
advertise it
weeks.
for, by our bylaw.
Yeah.
We have to advertise that for 2 weeks. And then we'll get our applications, see how many we got.
And if we don't get any, then we'll have to do it again.
And you're just gonna advertise in the Lincoln paper.
No, I'd put it in the Salina paper,
Yeah, I was gonna say, it needs to be put more in one.
Salina paper and also the Lucas paper.
and the Lucas paper, yeah, I forgot about that.
Because, so that we can have, but that way we could possibly have this position filled by the end of the year, and that person can start at the beginning of January.
And you'd hope that they'd be before then with all the stuff that goes on.
Yeah, yeah,
From
that's
October
right.
to December.
Uh-huh.
Because that was the whole purpose of keeping Teresa here from
Yeah.
October 1 till January 1.
And you'll have commodities before the first of the year.
Yes. Well, we're gonna
Someone
take care of
has
that,
to-
don't you?
We can take care of that.
We're
Yeah,
gonna take care
but
of
I'm saying,
When are they coming in?
the 11th,
11?
11th.
The 11th of
And we
November,
may,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's Sunday.
They're gonna be here.
no, that's Monday.
The 11th of November.
Wait a minute, 11th, this
Yeah,
This is
that's-
2019. Gee, thanks.
You're way ahead of the schedule.
What
Let
she
me look.
handed
It's Sunday,
me.
March.
It's on a Sunday.
The 11th
Yes,
is
it
a
is.
Sunday because we're having the VFW
So it'll be
dinner.
Monday, it'll be the 12th.
Be the
So-
12th, Monday.
The 12th, said put
Good,
that
I'm
on
glad
there.
you remember that.
Yeah.
I have to look
So
at.
they gotta bring it in and load it for
Well, I
us.
just know
You're
because
right.
I got a
Yes.
dinner.
And we may all have to come in and gather together and I've got,
I could help.
yeah.
We never got nothing for October.
Huh?
We never got nothing for October, so we have to do
We
it.
don't get it in October, we only got it every 3 months.
Really? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, so it'll be on the Monday.
It only comes in here every 3 months.
yeah.
Where's it coming from?
Huh?
It comes from Manhattan.
Is that where it comes?
I
It's all
think
on pallet.
Tesca gets
Tells
theirs
you how many
every
cans of green beans you're gonna get.
Listen,
So
you
what
do
do-
how many
Jan,
green
will they
beans
be
my
bringing it
son
over
goes
there
back.
at that office?
I don't know. Becky has called Manhattan.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll find
so
out,
we don't know
we'll
that,
find
okay.
out. Okay, applications may be obtained. Okay, do we need to put anything else? Lincoln County Council on Aging is looking for a part-time senior services coordinator. Pay negotiable according to experience. Applications may be obtained at 116 West Lincoln, parentheses, senior center.
There you go.
Okay.
That sounds good enough. We're done.
All
with
right, now, I can give this, Becky has the connection with Chris Heinze. I could give this to her, and she can get that in.
All right, on the paper.
Becky knows better than I do.
Okay.
Do
All
you
right,
wanna
now,
schedule, what, I've got a calendar now. Do you wanna schedule another meeting or not?
Well,
This'll
let's
be-
wait on that until we see what applications we
Yes, we
have.
get it.
Let's see what, on
Okay,
that, we'll make
because
the
That
application.
ad won't come out until November 1st.
Yes, right.
All right.
Let's see what, now, the next thing is, what kind of an application are we gonna have them fill out?
We have the application.
Oh, right,
We
we're gonna
need
use
to
that.
change the heading on that.
We're gonna change the heading, and so we need to,
Take that.
sometime in the next few days, get
Now, I
that
hate to say
done.
this, but Becky can take that, change the heading.
I know,
and print us off.
she can do it,
She can do it,
she
okay.
can do it, and I'll give this to her, and she can get it in.
Yes.
What wage did you settle on?
Huh?
What was the wage you settled on?
$12.
$12 an hour,
Are you gonna apply?
But we're
Subject-
also saying,
subject
No, I
to,
won't.
and that is subject to performance evaluation. I'll start out with that, and then we'll
And
go there.
you're overqualified.
Couple
All right.
years ago.
So, but if you have a chance, and you can, oh my gosh, I don't remember her,
That's done.
I don't remember
I'll take care of
Charlene's.
this.
You know, this
Home address.
all comes down to when it's happens. She has to report to somebody. Like,
Yeah.
you know, to keep track of the day she's gone, the vacation
Well, we
days.
have that all written, we got that written
Yeah.
But
document.
was that
And
done
we're going
before?
to,
Seemed to me like Teresa kept her own.
That's
Right.
yeah, we're going,
Does
gonna
the
go to
senior
financials.
center have a time clock? Don't they have a time clock?
Yes, they do.
No.
I don't, oh, is it back in the kitchen? I think it's back in that corner,
Does the
isn't
senior
it?
center use a
Yes,
time clock?
they have a time clock, they don't, I don't know. if
They don't use it though.
But there's one in the kitchen, or
Oh,
what?
yeah, that's what I thought, it was back in the corner in the kitchen.
Maybe you could consider that.
Oh, that's a possibility.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, let's get on to, I'm sorry, Jan, you're leading this.
Okay, what else, what time is it? I can't see the on.
It's 10:30,
10:30, I've got a
Gotta
few
hurry.
minutes yet.
let's start say 12:30.
so let's go to the financials. That's what we're here for.
Financials?
Remember, there's a or $9,000, we don't know what it's for.
All right, Jan.
have a concern about, Bob?
Not me, Judy, on your financials.
Okay, I said 9,000, it wasn't. $6,568, no cents. What is this for? It's like the fourth line from the bottom of the first page.
It's
No.
listed under
I'm
other.
on the
Oh,
wrong
okay, I
page.
see it now. Yeah, I see it. All right.
6,000, I think this line. Okay, it says other. I don't read upside down, I'm not a teacher.
This money. All right.
Huh, that's a lot of money.
That's why we wanna know
Okay,
what
that
it is.
misprint?
I'll bet it's
Misprint?
ours.
I think it's a misprint.
I would hope.
Okay, what was the date on it?
I know
It just
dates.
says
It's
other.
on line 45.
So it'd be like in October, wouldn't it? No, September.
September,
September, this is for September, isn't it?
it says mileage for meal delivery, $215.04. Below it says $6,568. We wanna
Does
know
the
what it's
financials go
to.
through the previous month?
Every,
Okay, that's,
And mileage for CC, county,
Eight.
mileage for county coordinator was $94.61.
Oh, that's what the CC,
That's what CC stands for, is county coordinator. But
oh, that was for. That was for the, audit procedure,
that's what I figured it was.
yeah.
so we're
Oh.
paying, so we paid Liz for that?
No, we
No.
paid to.
No, it
the
was
audit
made out of
firm.
Adams, Brown, Barron, and Ball.
Those are attorneys.
That's
The
what six-
attorney.
That's what $6,500
Yes.
is for.
Yes.
okay,
All right. We didn't have that down there. Attorney fees.
okay,
Yeah, that was.
that's
or
all
put-
I want to
audit
know
fees.
was,
That's for the
Procedure
who
audit.
did this money
procedure
go
audit,
to?
whichever you wanna call it.
Okay, we got that. That's attorney fees.
That's hunky-dory, but
Now, on Teresa's retirement, her resignation, you
Okay, see,
wrote
that's
her, you wrote
not-
her a check.
What was the
And-
day she resigned? What date do we have for that?
Let's see. Well, I sent a check on the 8th of October.
8th of October, that's when she resigned.
That's when she was paid for salary and leave in her IRA.
Wasn't the IRA in her name to begin with?
No, it was held, it was held in the bank.
Okay,
One for us.
so, Dan Arkin, so what check did you write her for her resignation? Did you pay, I'm just gonna flat out ask, did you pay her the 144 hours annual leave? And did you give her the 46 hours of sick leave? Did you pay her for all that?
Well, according to her notice, it said Teresa's salary and leave. That was $788.38.
700
What did you
and what?
pay to the taxes?
I don't know that.
$788 and how much?
You'd have to have
38
a
cents.
record.
38 cents.
Well, it sounds
Well,
to
it's
me
not
like
here.
Teresa
This is
wrote
just
the
the
check.
checkbook.
She
I
doesn't
don't have that, I don't have that record. I'd have to go back and look at the
I mean,
record.
for you not
So-
being in trouble.
But you do not have the last 5 months of her annual leave or sick leave on record?
Well, it's probably
No,
in,
not there.
probably in
It's
here.
not there.
Who has signatory on that checkbook?
Myself, the treasurer and myself.
And neither one of you know who those checks were written for?
Yes.
You just said.
I got the checkbook right here. Okay? It says salary.
All right.
But
So-
that's one thing that we need to make sure that this person, whoever we hire, fills out a timesheet each week, and that timesheet is presented to this board.
All right, Dan, what concerns me, I haven't done any figure yet. If you paid her for the time of her sick leave and annual leave, and you don't have a record of what she took off, she never had.
Right.
That money should be accountable to somebody. We can't get it back from Teresa, so who are we gonna get it from? We, at the end of the year, we can do that book, we can do that checkbook, they're gonna say, hey,
Well, you need to know this too, because someone someplace has to fill out tax papers.
Right.
And I haven't gone through all the files in the drawer.
okay,
And
but
if
you
you want
will.
to, if you want to do that, that's fine, I haven't. Or
Jan,
whether she kept a timesheet there, or,
the sheets I
whatever.
got was for the first 3 months of the year, we had that, she took 8 hours off. She took 2 hours sick leave and so many hours of annual leave, but we knew she went down to Texas with her grandson, she took a couple days off for that, and so we know she's not deserving of the full amount of.
44
Yeah.
hours.
yeah.
Exactly, so
Yeah.
what I'm asking you, and maybe you don't know, and that's what I keep trying to tell you, accountability of what she does, and the board, executive board, is supposed to take care of all that, supposedly, because we didn't have any choice in the matter, you know? So,
Well, you asked for time off,
yeah,
Are
vacation,
you saying,
and somebody should have responded.
Yes.
are you
but-
saying that she had already used some of her leave for the year?
Yes.
But when
Yes.
she resigned, she wrote herself a check for her full.
not she,
Well, I don't know whether it was
President
full,
did.
because I don't have the time,
Who wrote the check?
I
Jan
wrote
did,
the check.
and that should have been,
And
I
that-
understand.
But but you're saying you wrote it for her total leave for the year.
No, what leave she had not used.
Who calculated that is the
Well,
question.
that's.
She
that-
did.
She told you how much to write it for.
yeah,
Can I ask why you felt comfortable with her doing that, knowing that she was resigning and leaving you guys high and dry?
Well, I shouldn't have felt comfortable, I agree.
I just,
I shouldn't have.
I understand.
And I think that that's one thing that we need
You
to correct.
trusted her though.
Jan,
Yeah.
you were put on the spot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were.
yeah.
She-
You were.
She told you what the hell's going on, and you just
You trusted her.
automatically trusted her. And I know you did that because you're a trusted person. But what bothers me is instead of writing her that check, you should have contacted the board 2 weeks prior to writing that check, and we could have discussed it if we wrote
Well,
the
it
check.
could have even been quicker if you call
Yeah.
and say,
Jan had to call the meeting,
yes.
see,
And it could
So
have
that's
been
your
quicker
job.
if she had
That's what I'm saying, when
But she gave
we
you
do,
proper leave notice.
this is.
letter of
is,
resignation.
Yeah.
You
and
should
I
have
haven't-
paid her before
That's right.
you received a letter of
and
Well,
resignation.
she
you
realized
trusted
that now.
her, Jan, you done what you thought you had
Well,
to
I'll
do.
do
That's-
what
that's
I
right.
wrong.
And I said the same thing.
And I agree, this board now has learned that lesson,
Yeah.
Yes.
that
But-
we are going to, I think we should require timesheets every month, or
Every
every
month.
2 weeks, or
Every month.
however we're gonna do it.
Well, she sent in,
Prior-
she sent in what she did. I talked to a client, whatever. We had those reports. But that's not what Topeka and Manhattan told us to do. And I tried to tell you that, and Liz said, that's a HIPAA violation. It was not. As long as you don't ask about their health, you can call them up and say, hey, it's not our understanding that you talked to Teresa for 15 minutes on Thursday. I said, yes or no, that's it. So that's all you ask, that's all you can ask them. You can't ask them anything else. And, of course, Liz said you can't do that. Cindy Nelson said I can't do that. But I know, I read the HIPAA rules, and you can do that. But you just can't ask any health questions.
Right, exactly.
So, anyway,
Well, but the point is, from now on, when we hire this new
Yes.
person,
all right.
we
We've
need
learned
to
our
have,
lesson.
Yes,
we
we
learned
have.
our lesson, we're going to have weekly,
Have to.
monthly timesheets, however we figure it out, and,
But I
Well,
want
it
you,
should be that
this
she
board would like,
has something
like
to
you to go through the
request
files. and
Yes.
you'd know too. I mean, you take care of that.
time off.
But you guys go
Then
through
you've
those
got
records
a record.
and find out what we
Yeah.
should have paid her.
that's another thing, we need to work up a sheet for requesting time off, and then we have a record of what
Right.
time.
Yes,
or
and
that
that's
person
approved,
took
that
off.
can be approved by the executive board.
Sure.
She calls up and says, I need Thursday and Friday off to go see, my husband's in the hospital.
Sure.
That's gonna be sick leave, and we could account that for sick leave for her. But we didn't know that, and she did take time off, because she told us she took less to the hospital for 3 days.
Uh-huh.
But it never that I know of, never transpired, because I saw less at the bank. So, she lied to us.
I wanna-
Well, this went on for how many years?
13.
Exactly, ma'am.
13.
If I may just ask a couple questions, that I wanted to be here in person to ask. are you planning on restructuring the board? Is that part of your plan to reevaluate your membership qualifications and all that with your bylaws, et cetera? That was one of the things I had heard. I just wanted to ask you guys. Is that part of your
The
plan?
only restructuring is we were going down to 7 members. And the reason we done this was because we cannot get enough people
We're
willing
having
to
trouble
come.
recruiting people.
Well, I think you all have figured out why. And thank goodness you've all had the fortitude and knowledge to stick with
But
it.
now-
I mean, that's,
But now we need to restructure that because we still have 2 people in Sylvan that wants to come back over.
They do
well, that
want
was,
to do
Yes.
that?
that
Wanna
was
come
my
back.
question. If you
Well,
were gonna restructure the
that
board.
can be, there is one representative from the Sylvan Senior Center and one representative from the district, that district as a whole.
But you haven't changed the bylaws yet, is what I'm
No.
Yes,
asking.
we have.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
In July. Here
Yes.
is
Everybody
what-
From 10 to 7.
Would you get her a copy?
As,
Get her a
as
copy
they
of the
come
map, the new
up.
map?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
do
I
that.
see. Through attrition, I gotcha.
Yeah.
okay, and I could not get Cindy Nelson last Tuesday.
Dan's gotta go.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask.
So,
Jen
but give
gets
her-
off, Charlene,
Need to adjourn.
both Charlene's and Liz Winkler are off. They go off on even years.
Okay.
She told me I had to reapply. No, I am, and said that the letter that the commissioners gave me is nothing. I go off on even years. Yes, I came in 2016. I fulfilled that person,
That map.
which equals a full 2-year term. Then, in January, I started my own 2-year term, which expires December 31st, 2019.
19. Okay.
There. Go make, yeah, go make
Now
a
you
copy of that
see?
and give that to, that's the new.
This is the commission district.
Yes, and that's what
Yeah,
we
and
were
it's
going
according to,
with.
and it's according to,
So you're doing someone by district and then by
As
senior
they
center and
come
city.
off,
3 and 4 makes 7. Okay.
yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I understand.
as they come off. In other words,
Yeah, you're still on until you're done and then you're gonna.
and then one person at
You're on your
large
way out.
who could
Okay.
be from the senior center or town,
Be careful, Jen.
No.
Yes, I will.
2, 4,
I make a motion to
6,
adjourn the meeting.
Second.
one at large.
Oh, you're
Got
not
to do
doing
that.
senior
Got
centers
to do
anymore. Because it used to be one.
Yes, well, we
What-
didn't know
That's
what
a
they
good
were
idea.
doing. I'm sorry. We didn't know what Sylvan was doing. Come January, we can do it because it's in here, or maybe it's a procedures. In January, you make a committee to study bylaws and change. It took us forever to do this thing.
Yeah.
And I understand that, but there could be an
Membership
amendment
will be
made.
7 council
Come
members.
back in. There could be an amendment
Okay.
made if she wants to.
2 from each district
Yeah,
and then 1 at large.
yes.
Okay.
But Beverly's, there's
So-
only one in that district.
Yeah, and I don't, truthfully, I don't like this. This is big.
Well, if we're adjourned, I'm leaving.
Okay.
Large things.
Nancy,
Yeah,
tell
right,
Nancy,
yeah.
right.
One is
Nancy,
just
Todd
this.
mentioned
I
that
kind
during
of
the
like
meeting.
to
Okay.
They
see
said they'd let him know in a couple weeks.
that
I hear
in
adjourned?
Good job.
here.
I assure
Yeah.
you, good job.
Instead of with
But
2.
don't have.
Yeah,
have-
because
Because
you've
you've
got
garnered and
Barnard